Hello, my name is Richard Burke. I am currently making work in Douglas, Wyoming. I've been sculpting in stone for about 5 years now. Stone has an enduring quality which I don't find in other materials. The cracks and other imperfections add to the feel of antiquity which appeals to me. Limestone out in nature can have a variety of beautiful textures. Where it is highly exposed to the elements, it has a rough, pitted surface. Where there is limestone on a trail, it becomes smooth and polished, with an almost opaque feel. My process begins by hiking around the canyons in the area where I live. While I'm out in the field, I often encounter wildlife, which serves as a point of inspiration for my work. I'll sometimes hike with a 20 to 50-pound stone for several miles back to my truck. Once I have the rock in my studio, I determine how the shape and the size of that stone will best be sculpted into a pleasing form. The next step is creating a solid base. Once I have the base sculpted away so that the rock is well balanced, I try to determine what species of bird of prey would best match this form. My primary focus at this point is to get the posture of the species right. I spend a lot of time removing material with an angle grinder and mallet and chisel. Sometimes I try to mimic the natural surface, and other times I strive for the manipulated, tooled marks of humanity. Limestone lends itself well to a lot of detail. I try to leave as much natural stone visible as possible, but I want the face to convey a mood, an expression, and oftentimes human-like expression. In this stage of the work, I use a Dremel tool and a lot of sandpaper. I create deep grooves to draw the eye to certain features or to connect an area which would otherwise be isolated. The title Enduring was inspired by the ancient nature of stone itself. Enduring is a short-eared owl which is common in Wyoming. This particular piece was a challenge for me because I wanted a lot of the rough, fractured surface of the stone to remain. It was hard to balance completing the bird as a recognizable species while also leaving those rugged natural surfaces, which I felt were so important to the piece. The color and value of the stone can be manipulated by burnishing with stone, metal, and wire brushes. As I scar the material with tools, it leaves a much lighter value than the rest of the form. It's incongruent with the natural surfaces. I must darken these worked areas. I use white vinegar with various metals to etch color and darken the surface. When completed, I seal the piece with linseed oil and beeswax, while being careful not to cover or damage the lichens and mosses.